Hello fellow kaiju fans, I am GPTV, and today I'm going to be running you through my guide of modern Ultraman directors. I'm going to be giving you their backgrounds and my thoughts on each of them. So naturally, I've traveled back in time for the video, and below me is a baby Taguchi. Shh. Shh. Oh shoot. With Ultraman Omega coming, I wanted to give you guys a better look into my perspective on each director, so you could feel something when Omega's directors list drops real soon. As an aspiring director myself, I naturally tend to pay attention to different directing styles in Ultraman because they are very noticeable. So I wanted to tell you what I see. Let's start with the biggest names first. Arguably the biggest name is Taguchi. He started off his career by working on Godzilla. Around the same time, he also worked on Ultraman Cosmos as an assistant director. While he worked on Ultra Zone, Neo Ultra Q, and Operation Mystery File, it wasn't until Ultraman Ginga S where he started actually directing episodes in the Ultra series. He then became the main director for Ultraman X, Ultraman Orb, Ultraman Z, and Ultraman Blazar, as well as their movies. He's also been a VFX artist and special effects director for many Kamen Rider shows, and he's created short films of his own such as Daikaiju Bugen. Alright, what do I think are his strengths? Well, I think he is easily the best Ultraman director there is, and maybe ever has been. He is an amazing writer, an amazing director, an amazing choreographer, and an amazing cinematographer. So often his stories are super unique, his style really stands out as a director. His fights are always so punchy and often have so many unique moments. And when it comes to his cinematography, you can often tell it's a Taguchi episode because you'll see the coolest shot you've ever seen, and then he'll never do it again. He is great at respecting characters, whether they be his own or characters from the past. He always puts respect on their name. He is great at coming up with new ideas, new stories, and new designs. I mean, look at Blazar. He is always doing something new and he doesn't copy himself. Like, look at Orb and Z. Both may be fusion ultras, but their fusion styles are completely different. He is also very innovative. Once again, just look at Blazar. Honestly, Taguchi might be my favorite director of all time, not just in Ultraman. Because even when he's making an episode that isn't exactly the peak of the franchise, it still automatically appeals to me in every way because of his style. I just really connect with it. He's also got a really good taste in music. What can I say? Please let him direct the Godzilla movie, Toho. Please! Overall, considering how high of a pedestal I put him on, I am very fortunate to have actually met him in person. Although I will admit he isn't perfect because he's human. Sometimes he overstuffs things with too many ideas and doesn't really finish up with them. For example, the Lance Arrow in Ultraman Z. Now for Takesue, the director of the upcoming Ultraman Omega. Just like Taguchi, he started work on the Ultra series with Ultraman Cosmos as a second assistant director. He finally graduated to assistant director for Ultraman X and became an episode director for Ultraman Orb. It wasn't until 2018 with Ultraman RB that he became a series director, and later he directed Ultraman Decker. He also directed Ultraman Trigger's movie for some reason. But most importantly, in 2018 he worked on a show called My Brother's Husband as an assistant director. I just thought you guys needed to know that. His strengths. Sometimes his visuals are pretty good, specifically when it comes to compositing monsters into real footage. A lot of the time when he does this, it honestly looks pretty impressive. He can also be very good at serious moments if he locks in, such as all of episode 10 of Taiga. That is a perfect golden example of him doing that right. Speaking of which, he can randomly cook sometimes, like with episode 10 of Taiga and his Z episodes and episode 12 of Blazar. Now his weaknesses. Brace yourself because there's a lot. He is very, very hit or miss when it comes to his episodes, which an inconsistent director isn't a good director. He tends to shove in random comedy into his stuff that just does not land or fit the tone. He'll plagiarize, as you can see on screen. He is not very good at cinematography and choreography in general. His fights tend to be pretty bland. And sadly, he tends to misunderstand people's characters. Example A, the Trigger movie. Also, he likes to make random characters fly for some reason, like Gubila and Kanata and Bazaga. The best case scenario for Takesue is when he is directing an episode in someone else's show and the tone is very serious and the story is the main focal point of the episode. For example, Ultraman Z episodes 11 and 12. And the final big name is Sakamoto. For many years, he was a stunt coordinator on Power Rangers. Tsuburaya took a chance with him directing their big action movie in 2009. That being the Mega Monster Battle movie, which Sakamoto used to absolutely revolutionize the franchise. It started the Ultraman style we know and love today. Taguchi credits the fight with Zeragus and Gamora for him even realizing how quickly giant things could move. After his work on Godzilla, he was used to them being slow. Sakamoto also came up with Ultraman Zero and Ultraman Belial, some of the most famous characters in all of Ultraman. While this sounds great and all, the cracks started to show as time went on. The last thing he directed for Ultraman as of now was Ultraman Regulo's first mission, and that released 2 years ago now. Now for his strengths. He is amazing at fight choreography, and he also gets very innovative with his cinematography. I mean, he was the one to first use the 360 camera in Ultraman, starting with Ultraman Z. And he can have a perfect storm, for example, Ultraman G. While that show isn't perfect, it is pretty good. For his weaknesses, if you watch his stuff, you'll notice a lot of random and unnatural cuts. He also kind of glazes himself. If you look at his episodes, they tend to have his own characters in them. I mean, look at his episodes in Z and Decker. Sometimes his stuff feels like full-on fan fictions, like the Ultra Galaxy fights. He'll do things for the fans that just feel so pointless and out of place and almost disrespect the thing that he's referencing to begin with. And obviously, Trigger. Need I say anything? I think if I were to try to even talk about Trigger, I'd have like a PTSD episode. So just go watch my review. It still holds up pretty well, I think. Now I'm going to talk about the faces we've lost. These are directors who are no longer part of the franchise, as far as I'm aware. They haven't directed episodes in a while. So the first one is Ichino. He started directing for Ultraman all the way back with Ultraman Gaia. He directed 12 episodes of the iconic legendary show Booska Booska. He worked on Cosmos, Orb, Jeed, RB, and finally, he was the main director of Taiga. For his strengths, he tends to have a lot of unique sequences, really cool scenes that you could find nowhere else. And he knows how to do an entrance. I mean, just look at Titus's first appearance in Taiga episode 3. Absolutely incredible. He is also really good with build-up and immersion. He knows how to drum up drama and emotion very well. Also, his miniature work can be super good sometimes. Like, he really makes some good use of it. He also tends to be very good with character work, except ironically the main character of his own show, Hiroaki. His weaknesses are, unfortunately, he just was not built for new gen. He's got a very Showa and second gen style that honestly would go very well with the direction the franchise has gone. And the other weakness is he doesn't focus too much on action. While his fights are fine, they're not gonna really stick with you too much. And the other face we've lost that I think is worth mentioning is Abe. He started directing episodes with Nexus. He actually directed the finale of Ultraman Nexus. He then worked on Mebius, Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle Neo, X, and Orb. He was the main director for the Zero movie, the Zero side story, and Ginga. Yeah. Before you cringe, he did the Galactron episodes of Orb. So, his strengths are that he is really good at fights. He's got all kinds of creative camera work, and he is good with new things. His stuff also has a really good energy to it. It's very fast, but it keeps you up to pace with it. He also respects the source, like Father of Ultra in Mebius, Mephiles in Mebius, the entire Zero movie, and even Grand King in Ginga. And of course, Taro's appearance in Ginga. It really symbolizes something special and shows why I really think we should value him as a director. Ginga is arguably the bottom of the franchise. It's an incredible low point in budget and quality in general. Yet Taro's appearance is still legendary. It shows even at the franchise's lowest, it can still capture the heart and energy that the franchise was built on. And I think that is very special. Now his weaknesses. He can be a little too goofy sometimes. He can cross a line a bit with his goof-offing. And sometimes he can rush things, although he did improve on that over time. Now for the current key players. Tsujimoto. He is actually a dental technician turned director, it turns out. He directed episodes for the Ultra series for many years, and he is even responsible for my favorite episode in the entire franchise, that being episode 19 of Ultraman Z. And Ultraman Arc was the first show where he was the main director. His strengths are that he is really amazing at action and cinematography. Much like Taguchi, you'll watch his stuff and see just the coolest stuff you've ever seen. He is also really good at tributes, like episode 19 of Z, and he knows how to do a lot of fun character work. And much like Ichino, he is amazing with practical effects. He uses the environment perfectly. Honestly, I think he takes advantage of them more than literally any other director. He also really excels at short, self-contained stories, and he likes to try new things. His weaknesses are that, honestly, he threw away a lot of his strengths for Ultraman Arc. That being cardboard cutout characters, a weak story, and honestly sometimes some pretty lame fights. It just reveals that he's not quite as consistent as I initially thought he was. He was honestly out of character to me, which potentially shows that he's not fit for the main director role. Now for Nakagawa. He has done a handful of episodes starting with Ultraman Z. He is also responsible for all of the Godzilla Day shorts, so if you've seen them, you've seen his work. His strengths include very unique storytelling. I mean, his episode plots tend to be pretty different than the usual Ultraman episode plot. Like, if you take a look at his episodes in Z, the King Joe episode features a car chase, and the first Barros episode features a base invasion, both of which you just don't really see in Ultraman. His stuff can be very dramatic, and this coincides with his incredible visuals. He is also really great with human conflict. I mean, look at episodes 7 and 8 of Blazar, and even his episodes in Decker. His biggest weakness to me is that his action isn't super punchy, in specifically Ultraman. See, the thing is, his Godzilla Day shorts are pretty punchy, but when it comes to his Ultraman stuff, it doesn't quite feel the same. Koshi. He's been the assistant director on many Ultra shows, but he didn't actually start directing episodes until Taiga, that being the recap episode. He really didn't start directing real episodes until Z. And he has been directing more and more episodes each year, so it's very likely that soon he'll be a lead director. His strengths are that he is amazing at action. His stuff is very energetic and very punchy. Also, oftentimes we can get some pretty unique fight moments that I absolutely love. He also takes new ideas and absolutely runs with them, like episode 9 of Blazar or episode 8 of Arc. Love or hate the episodes, you have to admit he goes all out sometimes. His weaknesses, however, are that he's not perfect. He does have some misses here or there. Sometimes he just doesn't go all in. He feels like a jack of all trades, master of none. Oftentimes he doesn't go beyond the expectations and doesn't really go below them. And sometimes his style just doesn't blend with the episode he's set to direct, like the Worm episode in Blazar. Now finally, I'm going to be talking about the guest directors in Ultraman Arc, who people have been obsessed with ever since their debuts. That being Yuasa, Akitake, and Uchida. Yuasa started off doing J-dramas. Akitake has done one Sentai short, and Uchida has been an assistant special effects director on Ultraman for a while. However, Arc was his time to shine. Their strengths are Yuasa is very good with drama, obviously. They also are very good at showing us kaiju from a unique angle, like the very prominent eye shots in episodes 9 and 10 of Arc. And they seem to really focus on beauty and light in their cinematography, which I think really fits the themes of Ultraman in general. Akitake also has very dramatic human scenes, and they also seem to have some very intense choreography. It seems they see kaiju as awesome and intimidating, which I love. And as for Uchida, they are clearly very capable of achieving some high concept special effect shots. Overall, I am very excited to see the future of these guys. As for their weaknesses, I just don't have enough information yet. They need to build up a bigger resume before I can hate on them. And there you go! Now you can have a conversation about Ultraman with me better. Overall, I think it's important to acknowledge these people because they are responsible for what we see on screen. Ultraman is a special effects fantasy series, and that's why the special effects are the most important part to me. However, what makes Ultraman stand out above every other Toku franchise is the marrying of good writing, acting, cinematography, and special effects in a kaiju story. There are a lot of people at play, but in the end, it all comes down to the main director. These are the people that make what we love, and it's important to recognize them. This has been GPTV. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check the links in the description, and if you like the blue behind me, cool, I'm never doing it again. It was way too hard to set up. Way too hard. This is a one-time thing. Enjoy it while it lasts. Okay, bye.